Hey, what's happening, everybody? In this video, I think this is a really interesting angle. We're going to talk about Terra Luna and UST. I came across an opinion piece that really made me think. And let's just take a step back and let's agree that none of us really know what happened here, right? None of us really know exactly how this went down. We've heard a multitude of different stories, right? And chances are it's probably a combination of a lot of these things, right? But to perfectly piece it all together and know exactly this is how it went down, we'll probably never have that. But I think it's good to have an ongoing dialogue, an ongoing influx of new ideas and different ways that this whole thing could have happened. It's important to have those discussions, right? So in this video, I want to jump into this opinion piece and again, just read through this, highlighted some key points. There are some areas where I'm going to read through because I don't want to. I can't do it any justice because it's said perfectly, and we're going to dive into it. And I want to hear what you think, right? So definitely comment down below before we jump into it. Go ahead and hit the like button. I know you're going to like this perspective. This goes into my constant narrative of always keep learning in crypto, right? Keep taking in more information. Never think you have it all figured out because it's going to make you a better investor in the end. So, all right, so let's jump in here. It says there was no Terra attack. You might have saw the title. So what they're talking about here is the narrative that there was an attack by big actors like BlackRock and Citadel. Now, we're not totally throwing the baby out with the bathwater here, but the way they word this is really interesting. So let's dive into it here. So it says, while Terra creator Quan and his supporters may want to label the disaster a mere speed bump on the way to success, a spate of civil and criminal proceedings suggests that many suspect it constituted fraud. That line between fraud and failure, though, has become increasingly fine, right? Where was there fraudulent activity versus was it just a complete failure of the algorithmic stablecoin? Again, probably somewhere in the middle. Now let's keep reading. I've seen repeated references. This is a quote. I've seen repeated references to the idea that UST lost its peg because of an attack, a quote unquote coordinated attack, and even a quote unquote a hit job. Keep in mind, this is an opinion piece. This framing often comes from those trying to defend UST's fundamental soundness, despite many years worth of warnings that algorithmic stablecoins are doomed to fail. Now, it is likely true that the depegging of UST was at least partly the result of some sort of an attack, in the sense that capital was deployed strategically and in large amounts to bring down the Terra peg, right? However, they go on to say here, and this kind of reiterates the same point, the collapse of UST wasn't a real failure because the big banks in Wall Street hate crypto and they sabotaged us because they hate us. This user put it like this: there was no attack. If the design is flawed, it deserves to collapse the sooner the better. What you call an attack was a stress test, and Terra failed it. So we're walking this fine line. Was it a specific attack, or was somebody just taking advantage of the algorithmic stablecoin that was UST that was flawed? Because when it comes to money in the financial systems, that is what happened. That's what happens every single day in the stock market. We've seen it for decades and decades and decades. If there is an opportunity to go long on a stock or short a stock based on some type of flaw in that company, people will take advantage of it, right? Regardless, one way or the other. And they go on to say, maybe it's just business. It's hard to be more correct. To expand on this comment we just read, the thing about markets is they don't have any morality. To paraphrase New York University professor of marketing Scott Galloway, they have no mercy, but also no malice. The person trading against you doesn't care who you are. They just what your position is, right? They don't care who you are. They just know what your position is. And if there's a chance that they can take advantage of it, they will. And sure, does it happen all the time with bigger hedge funds like BlackRock and Citadel? Certainly. They have the capital to do so. But to call it a malicious attack, at least this is what this article is saying, maybe not entirely true because there was already a flaw within the algorithmic stablecoin structure. So that's what I've got for you in the video. Let me know your thoughts about it all down below in the comments section. As I mentioned, I read through this article, highlighted some key points, and really got me thinking about this a little bit differently because About a week ago, I was pretty much convinced that it was, just point the finger at BlackRock and Citadel and they're the bad actors. And we've seen this all the time. It's market manipulation. And I guess now where I sit, maybe there was some of that, but maybe there was a flaw in the algorithmic stablecoin, right? And maybe it's a combination of all of these things happening at once. Let me know what you think about all this down below. Thanks so much for stopping in, and I'll see you in the next video.